Hey everyone, welcome back to my vlog. So something a lot of people have been asking me about is tips on getting into the elusive and mysterious world of voiceover. Full disclosure, I am by no means an expert. I am still learning. I've been pursuing voiceover for about 2 years now, and while I am still a complete novice, I wanted to share with you what worked for me, what prepared me for diving into voiceover, and kind of give you guys some insight on maybe how you guys can start your journey. Again, I'm not an expert. Go to class if you want for sure expertise, but here's some tips on getting started. Tip number 1. First off, I highly recommend getting into any type of vocal class. I studied singing for about 10 years. I'm a musical theater person. I've been singing since I was like 8, and I really feel that having that background in vocal performance really aided my voiceover career. Without having that training, I would not understand proper breath support and manipulating my voice to create certain sounds, and especially emotion through your voice and relaying character through your voice. So whether you go to a regular speech coach or whether you go take a singing class or you get a private vocal coach, I think anything to help you have a better understanding of your instrument is so important. I think that's step number 1, because more than anything, you want to make sure that you're healthy and doing things correctly. A healthy voice is a long-lasting voice. Tip number 2, watch lots and lots of things from the type of genre you want to get into. For example, if your dream is to be on something like Sophia the First or Elena of Avalar, you should be watching all those shows. You should understand their tone, their vibe, how their actors give their vocal performances, how broad or how small and intimate their performances are, because all these types of performance elements give the specific tone and vibe of the show. They make each show unique and special to them. For example, you have things like, let's say like Sesame Street, for example. It's very big and broad and charactery and fun. And then you have things like a Hayao Miyazaki film, which is very grounded and very real and very like film-like performance through the voice. Plus, you learn lots of things from watching others. I grew up watching Disney movies. That's all I watched as a child. I never wanted to watch anything other than my cartoons as a child. So I feel like having that intense amount of research, if you will, as a young child really helped me understand how to perform vocally. And I am still learning. I'm still learning daily. I'm still watching new things and learning because there are people that are so much better than me and I want to learn from them and grow. And I think that's really important. Tip number 3. Once you have decided that voiceover is something that you want to pursue more seriously, and let's say you already have a little bit of a basic idea of how to use your voice, I do highly recommend getting into voiceover specific classes. I have not done this yet, but it is something that is on my to-do list to do. Getting into voiceover specific classes teaches you how to audition, teaches you tips about using the microphone, because you wouldn't think it, but voiceover is very technical. A lot of it is about relaying your performance through a single microphone in an empty room. And if you don't know how to do that, then you won't work a long time or you won't ever get the job. And I think knowing those technical elements is so important. And knowing how to audition is important, because you can have the best voices on the planet, but if you don't know how to audition and you don't know how to get your voiceover auditions into your agents and managers and so, then you'll never get into the recording studio, and that's the goal, right? So I highly recommend getting into class. There are classes all over the country and all over the world. Just do some researching, and please always make sure to read reviews of classes that you are going to take. You want to make sure that no matter what, you don't get scammed, because even in Los Angeles, there's lots of scams out there. So do be wary. Tip number 4. Learn everything about the voice actors you admire. Something that I never knew existed until getting nominated for a BAFTA was BAFTA Guru is amazing. Please check out BAFTA Guru's online videos, because they do so many interviews with their incredible voiceover talents that they get a hold of, and getting to learn from the absolute best is important, because these are people that have between 5 to 50 years in this business, even longer maybe. And learning from their mistakes and learning from their successes is so important, and it saves you time, because no one wants to start from the beginning if they can avoid making a mistake that someone else already made. So watching and learning from those who inspire you is so important and so wonderful, and I highly recommend it. And finally, tip number 5. Find what makes you special. This is something that will always set you apart, because at the end of the day, there is no one like you. And finding where you come from in an honest and wonderful place and what makes you and your voice special is going to get you so far in a voiceover career. I know for me, I know what my niches are, I know what I'm really good at, I know what I want to grow into, and I know what I want to work to become. But at the end of the day, I do feel like I kind of know what will make me stand out in certain things. So I kind of know what projects to pursue more and what I might really be right for. And I highly recommend, this is going to take a while to learn. It's going to be through trial and error. It's going to be through hearing yourself and saying and realizing and hearing, that sounds great, that sounds really good, or maybe that's not as great, maybe that's something I should pull away from a little bit and lean more into this, because this is what's going to make me special, and this is what's going to make me have an amazing career. Because there is something special about each one of us, and I think that as a performer, knowing what makes you special is what sets you apart, because we are all special, and we are all special in very different and beautiful ways. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed my 5 tips for getting into voiceover and for starting your voiceover journey. I really hope this helped. Again, I am by no means an absolute expert. I just want to share what worked for me and what has gotten me started in my wonderful voiceover career that I love and adore having. And I just wanted to share that with you because a lot of people have been asking me. If you have any further questions, please leave them down below and I will do my best to answer them. And please let me know what videos you want to see next, because I like making these and I want to make more. So let me know what you want to see next. Thank you everyone, and have a beautiful, marvelous, magical day. Mwah!